Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. It is your girl, Millie Mills. Yeah, I'm the host of Bring It in the House podcast show, where we spotlight musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders. And we have an entertainer, an artist, a musician, all in one. He is super fantastic. Let's give it up for international keyboardist, composer, and producer Ken Powell. Woo!
Hey, how you doing? Millie, thanks. It's Poe, by the way.
Oh,
Not everyone gets it right on the first time, so I'm not blaming you at all. So, you know,
thank you so much, Ken, man. Because I should have asked you that. I should have said, "Hey, is it Poe or Pow?"
it's
But we,
okay because if you're talking to me, you're talking to somebody, Poe. So there you go.
no, you're not. No, you're not Poe. You are blessed in the Lord.
Oh, yeah.
So, Ken, we always like to kick things off with by asking, what's your hometown, your alma mater, where you grew up, and all that good stuff.
Okay. Well, I was born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama. I still live in Birmingham, just on the suburbs a little bit, but I never strayed far from home.
Mhm.
Attended Parker High School, and back in the day, I'm not going to say the year that I graduated, but I also received a few diplomas from the University of Alabama. So that's my background.
All right. What's the mascot there for the high school?
Oh, Thundering Herd. Yeah,
Thunder and Herd. All right now. Woo, 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 woo. I had to get that in, man.
there you go.
You are an internationally known pianist, concert pianist, should I say, and record producer. When
Right.
did your music career begin? Was it when you were little bitty, Ken?
I took music lessons when I was 8 years old. Took piano lessons, just like a lot of 8 year olds back then.
Yeah.
At that time, and I wasn't very good, to be honest with you. I didn't like to practice. Used to get teased by my friends.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that. So, but it did start me off performing.
You
And
stuck with it.
I did stick with it, and there's a story behind that too. But but I mean, the classical music and stuff like that. It gave me, when I was little, um,
Mhm.
gave me a little foundation for music and understanding music in a particular way. And I kind of took that on to my teenage years. Although it's hard to impress a teenager with classical music. So when you um, for example, when you play Chopin or Mozart for someone, they're not really that impressed, it turns out. But if you play Luther Vandross or Teddy Pendergrass, okay, you'll get a crowd, you get applause, you know. So that's the direction it took, and I kind of went with it, where it took
Yeah, and I'm so glad you did. I'm glad you stuck with it. And look at you now. You're reaping the awards. You're a Grammy Award nominated jazz recording artist. I mean, that's amazing. That whew,
me.
you have been a fixture. Yeah,
You make it sound so good. I was like, oh, really? Who's this guy? I got to meet this guy.
yeah.
but, but yeah, it's it turns out you could do a lot if you have time to do a lot, and it's what it's how you make use of your time more
There
than
you go.
anything else. Um,
And
and
not to get all biblical, but that's what God gave man dominion and power. He wanted us to manage our time.
right, exactly. And I think if you do things for the right reasons, the
Mhm.
rewards will come. Some people get into the music industry wanting to be famous, wanting to get paid and things, and that might be the right reason for them. I'm not questioning that,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
that was never the motivation for me. That's not what gave me the love for what I do, and I think people recognize it when you love what you do, more
Mhm.
than anything else. And I think if you don't seek out the rewards, they'll come to you anyway.
They will come. I agree. I agree. What feeling do you get, Ken, when you're playing? I mean, what does it do for you?
Oh, well, I'm transported.
Hmm.
It's like um, when I'm playing, I'm not there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm somewhere else. You know,
I've heard that
and
before from other artists. So.
yeah, yeah, and part of the thing is that I have this uh, I have this habit. I guess you could call it a habit. I don't know if it's a component of my personality or habit, whatever. But
Mhm.
that I have this tunnel vision type focus, that when I'm doing something, when I'm working on music, when I'm playing music, it's like nothing around me exists. I don't hear anything, I don't see anything. It's just I'm just laser focused on that. So it's like I've always been that way. It's just music takes all my concentration, every single bit of it, and that's kind of like what it is. So
Mhm.
when people are wasting their time if they try to talk to me while I'm playing, basically, if they try to get my attention while I'm playing, I might pay attention, and stop playing. I don't know. Just
Mhm.
anybody's guess of what will happen at that point. Yeah.
Okay, so you started playing when you were 8. That's around the age my daughter did as well. So when did you know? I mean, like, when was that big performance that, like, told you at a young age, hey, I think this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life?
Oh, yeah, when I started doing talent shows, those were so much fun,
Yeah.
and again, that goes back to, um, well, every time every time I would perform for my parents, they
Hmm.
would always insist that I play something classical. But, you know, when I started getting to talent shows, of course, I'm not gonna go to a
Of
talent
course.
show playing classical music because that's not gonna get you anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
You you try to play music that your peers could relate to.
yeah, people that music that I like, music that other people liked,
Hmm.
and when I
Hmm.
saw the response, the reaction, I was hooked on that. I
Yeah.
wanted to get that response from people all the time, and that's kind of like what pushed me to what I'm doing now, I suppose.
Awesome. Awesome. Now you are a fixture of concerts, halls, music festivals, smooth jazz music charts all over the US and Europe for the last 3 decades. Please elaborate. Please.
Yeah, that's it has been a long time now that you bring that up. Um, but yeah, but the piano concerts and festivals, came pretty much after I was playing with some of the music artists that would have me on as a session artist, both in the studio and in concerts, right? So
Mhm.
the solo gigs for piano came after that, pretty
Yeah.
much in 2003. I started going to Europe every year, and I remember that year because that was also the year that um, Ruben Studdard, a fellow Birminghamian, he won American Idol. We were all so proud of him back then, but it's hard to believe that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, that is hard to believe. It just seems
So,
like yesterday, right?
yeah. So I remember I was actually in Germany when I found out who won American Idol. I was so happy because they didn't know anything about American Idol over there, but
Yeah,
they couldn't understand why I was so happy. But
for
yeah,
you.
I was proud of the guy. I was proud as I could be. Yeah, so I
Mhm.
remember that was 2003, and every year since, that's when that all started. Well, up
Yeah.
until COVID, of course, they
Yeah.
closed
Yeah.
everything out. But, I'm gonna start going back over there next month, as a matter of fact. Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I also saw that you are, of course, Billboard Top 100 Smooth Jazz Artist and Producer, who was nominated, 2 times for a Grammy in the category of Best Contemporary Instrumental Album and once in the category of Best Instrumental Production. So,
Right.
we got to say congratulations
Well,
to you.
thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
and and it's funny. In hindsight, and people
Yeah.
will say that's a success, but it's difficult to call it a success for me.
Yeah.
Because okay, well, for one thing, the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences, which they call just the Recording Academy, those are that vote on the
Mhm.
Grammys, right?
Mhm.
And we're talking about people in the industry, who already are familiar with me, who know who I am,
Mhm.
so of course, they're going to throw a few votes my way, when it comes to nominating and things like that. But
Mhm.
at the time, radio stations still weren't playing my music, and people weren't really buying my songs for real, or streaming, or buying the songs for real. So, you know, um, it was sort of.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say it was not a big deal, but I mean, it just didn't feel like I was successful at the time. I didn't feel
Mhm.
successful. And
Yes.
so, but and plus it turns out that, well, I was under the false impression that, oh, okay, well, I got this seal of approval from the Recording Academy by almost winning the Grammy. So um then uh radio stations will have to play my music, because
Mhm.
if everybody knows it's good, but that was not the case at all.
That's not the
So
case.
that was not the case. So, but that didn't come, the charts and everything like that. Chart success didn't come really until fairly recently in 2020. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
but yeah, it was fun when I was doing it. It was fun when it was all happening.
Yes, I know it was. I know it was. I was looking. I got just a little distracted because I'm looking at all the comments here. Your publicist Desiree, she was chiming in, and of course, she says that you have a big gig in Germany in
Yes,
August, coming up
yes,
in August. Yeah.
yes. That's
Mhm.
right. That's right. They're doing some private events for some friends over there. I haven't. I I think they started the festivals back, but I'm not sure. But
Mhm.
I haven't gotten any invitations to any. So, but maybe next year. I don't know.
Right, right, right. Now, Ken, I went to your website, kenpo.com, and that's when I got a chance to kind of, hear some of your music and all that good stuff. So I got a chance to listen to Stepping, and then you did a cover instrumental version of her single Could Have Been.
Mm, yeah.
And but then your latest single, Amore Roma.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's really really nice, and that's from your latest album, On the Level, correct?
That is, and there's a story behind the title of that song. A little
Mm-hmm.
story might find it humorous. I don't know, but I wasn't trying to be all Eurocentric or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that uh, I I like I find it very hard to come up with a good name for a song.
For a
You know,
song.
that's
Mhm.
probably the hardest part of writing a song because it's an instrumental song. It doesn't have any words. So what
Yeah,
are you going to call this song right here?
yeah,
So
that's good.
so
Yeah.
I have this fondness for palindromes. Those are words or
Mhm.
and phrases that say the same thing backwards and forwards.
Uh
You
huh.
know, and I thought Amore Roma was a good palindrome, so I just made it the title of the song. So
Okay. Well, let's take a listen and let everyone else hear. This is beautiful. Thank you. Yay!
Thank
I
you.
love that, Ken. Dun, 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 dun,
I'm
dun.
glad you like it. You know,
Yeah, it really has a summer feel to it to me.
yeah,
Spring summer feel.
I can hear that. You know, as a matter of fact, in my head, you know, I was kind of transported to like Santorini in Greece, you know, because I was that's the image I have in my head.
Yes,
And you know, the weather over there is usually very summery, like you
yes,
said, you know, and you know, you're over there on the beach and on the cliffside, that blue water and everything like that. It's such a beautiful place. I've only been there once, but I hope to go back someday.
It sounds beautiful, and I see where you got your inspiration. Um, that because it definitely has that feel to it. It's just so refreshing. I
Well,
love it.
thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. How many songs are on this album on the level? How many singles? I meant
I think I put 11 tracks on there.
tracks.
I
Okay.
think I think it, I think I tend to keep it around 11 or 12,
Mm-hmm.
10
Mm-hmm.
or 11 or 12 because I think anything less than that is a rip off.
Yeah.
So I don't want to rip off my listeners, those who might be tempted to buy the whole album. I used to. Didn't you used to hate it when you buy an album? It only has like 6 songs on it.
Songs. Yeah, I remember,
Back
especially
in
back
the day,
in the '80s, they had about 6 songs.
I wanted my money back. And I still remember that feeling and say, they really gypped me, and they charge the same price, as albums with
10
12
to 12
tracks on
songs. Yeah.
it.
Hmm.
But no, I
Yeah.
I'd never do that to music lovers. I would never do that.
Yes, yes. But yeah, I really like that one. I'm sure you have a lot of other great singles on there. Now, that single right there, Amore Roma, that's the current single that's getting all the buzz. And
Yeah.
you shared with me earlier that it's already charting on the Billboard charts, correct?
Yes, it is as a smooth jazz single. The last I checked on the chart position, it was like number 35 in the top 50 or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, but that's been a few weeks ago. I don't know whether it's gone up or down, so maybe I have to check again. So
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it has one of those bullet points going up, I'm sure.
hope so.
I've never asked anyone, how does an artist get to on Billboard? How do you get charted, first of all?
Radio stations, they have to report how many times they played your song, and
Yeah.
um, and then the data collection service,
Mhm.
Billboard, what they call BDS. You probably know
BDS.
all about that.
I
Uh,
do.
they they rank songs according to how many times they've been played, in rotation. So I guess you could say that um, my life is in the hands of music,
That's it.
the
Program
radio
directors.
programmers now. So they
Yeah.
control my whole career. So
Well, I know that's how it used to be way back in the day when I used to be a program director, but I didn't
yeah,
know if it had changed now that it's just you got all these streaming devices and so I didn't know
that,
exactly.
that's true. I mean, it's a, now the streaming platforms also report, the
Okay,
number
good.
of streams, so which is a good thing,
That's
you
great.
know. But then the radio station data and the streaming data, they kind of go hand in hand, because if the radio stations aren't playing you, people are not going to stream your music. So
Mhm, mhm,
um,
mhm.
yeah, they kind of married to each other, I think.
Yeah, one hand washes the other. I get it. I get it. And that the other album I was checking out, there's before this one, the on the level album, Stepping. That's the one too that I'm a little more familiar with, and I just kind of learned about on the level. But
Right.
the Stepping, I love it because you got redid what's the girl's name? Black Butterfly, Denise
Oh
Williams.
yeah,
You did
Denise Williams. That
yes.
that was my favorite ballad when I was a teenager. I could not get enough of that song, and they didn't play it enough either.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
did.
understand that. I
It
mean,
did not get enough air cover. That's airplay. You're right.
because
I agree with you.
to me that was. I mean, if you listen to the orchestration and just the way it was done overall, it was one of the most beautiful songs that was written in that decade, in my opinion. and
Oh yeah.
on so many levels, and the
Mhm.
words were beautiful too, and of course
Yeah.
Denise Williams with that range of hers, that blew the roof off. That settled it
Mhm.
for me,
Yes.
and
Yes. Yes.
that's one of my all-time favorite songs, and I just decided to try to do it some justice, put
Yeah.
my little
Oh,
spin on
you did. You
it.
did.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. And then of course the title cut, Stepping. Hey. What made you call it Stepping? Because it sounds like one of those it's kind of like you can step to it.
You know, and you hit it right on the head. Do do you remember that well, I know you remember this.
Step in the Name of Love, R. Kelly.
Yeah, 2020 was when that first season of Surviving R. Kelly came out. Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. And I was saying, so R. Kelly was getting canceled, right? I said,
Yeah.
what if I wrote a stepping song? Since the most popular stepping song there
Mhm.
is just getting canceled, right? I said
Yeah.
it could be a good time to make a stepping song. So I decided to make a stepping song. So
All right. Let's
here we
take a listen, everybody. This is Stepping by Ken Poe. Woo-hoo!
all right.
Love it. Woo-hoo!
Thank-
Man, I wish we had more time. A lot of my guests say maybe you should start doing an hour instead of 30 minutes, but
yeah,
I
I understand. Time flies, doesn't it?
it really does fly. I also wanted to look at a couple of photos that you had shared with me earlier. We want to definitely let the viewers see these. I know you, one of them was at the Grammys when you were
Yeah,
nominated right there.
right. And you will notice that there's a red carpet there, but that's not a real red carpet picture. And plus,
Yeah.
I was not in the VIP section at all. I was in nosebleed seats at Staples Center. So this is the picture that the people with the nosebleed seats get, right here, you know, and
Hey,
kind of
at
looks
least,
bootleg, kind of looks fake, but it's the real thing.
yeah, but at least you were there, man. You know how
Yeah,
many people wish they could get there?
being there was really wild. It was really wild. I should say.
I know it. That's wonderful. And then this next picture was at a festival here in
Yeah,
Nashville, right?
right. That was maybe 3 weeks ago, and I was helping a radio station promote their 50th anniversary at this outdoor concert. They had a whole bunch of other smooth jazz artists there, and I just decided to take a picture with some of the radio station staff.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is so wonderful, Ken. Congratulations again on all your success, man. You have been doing it. You have been, you're not playing with it. Like the younger people say, you didn't come to play.
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
Yes, you've been doing your
It
thing.
was an
Yes.
honor being here on your show. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by, taking time to speak with us. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ken Poe. Woo! And where are you going to be? You're going and next month you're going to be in Germany.
Yes, I'll be in Germany next month.
Okay.
Different locations, but yeah, about 10 days. Be right back home.
All right. You guys, we thank you so much for tuning in to Bring It in the House. Next week, we're going to have I guess, the sponsors and producers of the stage play, the Sam Cooke story out of Dallas, Texas. You don't want to miss that. Prince E. and Edward McDaniel, they'll be here. So it's going to be another great show. Thanks again, Ken, for all your grace and sharing all your talent and knowledge with us tonight so
Thank you.
much.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
My pleasure.
All right. We'll see you next time on Bring It in the House.